Hi guys, Dogo here with a new video, and this video we're going to talk about the Enhancement Shaman changes that I discussed yesterday evening, and I want to talk about it because I feel like I am very happy about Enhancement Shaman. So, like I said, always that they could do a lot of stuff just by removing a few points, and that would give us a lot more creativity with our builds. But also, I think it will feel a bit better to play around. I do feel like Better Bloat is still a thing. There's still a lot of things that should be probably normalized. I think, personally, you could do Ice Strike, that it's only one button with Frost Shock. So whenever you're using Ice Strike, it becomes Frost Shock, for example. So you I don't know, it's weird because you also want to Frost Shock outside of Ice Strike. But you can find something like a way to implement that. I think there's a few things that you could maybe add together with Storm Strike or whatever. Or for example, your Storm Strike every 12 seconds gets empowered by Frost, for example. So you don't have Ice Strike anymore, does the same amount of damage, like more damage I would say, and it also improves your Frost Shock, so you don't have to use Ice Strike anymore. Something like that. But today, very special, we have four builds for Enhancement Shaman, and you're using Stormbringer, but also Totemic. And I'm actually excited to test it on live servers because right now we are quite lagging. People say that like 180 ms is nothing. For me, it is like times 10 the normal ms I have. Let's talk about the changes that we have for Enhancement Shaman. Basically, we have Molten Assault, Overflowing Maelstrom, and Witch Doctor's Ancestry that becoming a 1-point node. That's the biggest change out of the changes that we have. We also have some buffs towards Healing Stream, Healing Surge, excuse me, and you also got a buff on Primordial Wave becoming a 30-second CD. So that's really big. But the biggest change for the Doomwind's Enjoyer is that it is becoming a 1-minute CD. So you can make a macro like I did. So I'm going to show you my macro, which is Doomwinds with Heroism, and basically both are 1-minute CD. So every 1 minute you have like one big burst rotation. You can even put your trinket inside of it. You can do a lot of stuff to have the greatest stuff. Quick reminder that the tier sets, like the look of a tier set really sucks. Might be because it's a dwarf, but it really sucks. So I'll be playing probably with Transmog. But let's talk about the builds. So I made the first build, which is Doomwinds. That's how I will call it. And we're playing around the same old build, but we have a bit more points to spare, which gives us easier access to Swirling Maelstrom. And we have everything we want at the bottom side of the tree, but also Elemental Spirits. Yes, it does remove the physical damage of your Storm Strikes, but now that you have, I would say, the extra point from Witch Doctor's Ancestry that is not needed anymore, you can easily take Elemental Spirits and have a lot of damage that is going to improve onto your Elemental Blast, but also your Tempest. And Tempest hurts a lot for the Enhancement Shaman, so that's a good thing. I'm going to show you guys really quickly, but overall, it's the same old build, but it becomes a bit more interesting because it's a 1-minute CD, so you can really just hammer down the damage you can have. The only thing that I really despise on the feral elemental spirits is that fire feral spirits are useless to us, except for our good old how it's called, elemental blast. That's the only thing that is going to help us, I would say, with our damage, but that's everything we have currently. I'm going to try to get my burst up, but you see we can do a lot of damage just whenever we are going to Ascendance. We have also our Tempest doing insane amount of damage, and we get like our feral spirits as well, so that's always going to be welcome. And obviously you want to do as much lightning bolts as possible, because then you get like your extra feral spirits. I don't even count right now, but we do have plenty of them. We have like 3 feral spirits. I didn't have like pop my CD yet. I can even pop once we have it. Boom, and then we have our Doomwinds, and now we're doing insane amount of damage. Like this is like really cool. Like I look forward to test it. I look forward to play around it. I look forward to show you guys in real games, because again, I understand it is a dummy and the damage is probably different, but it's really fun. Like, this is fun gameplay. This is really fun gameplay. Of course, there's also a lot of things going on depending on, I would say, if you're trained or not, and so on. But overall, I get the feeling like this is kind of the gameplay I want from Enhancement Shaman, like having a lot of feral spirits boosting my damage. And I might even drop elemental blast, to be fair, because I want to be able to do a lot of lightning bolts to get those procs towards my tempest, because tempest is actually a insane ability for how it's called, Enhancement Shaman. So I really like that. Overall, the gameplay is really feeling good, and you could be playing multiple other builds, which I'm going to show you very quickly after this rotation, really quickly. So yeah, I mean, I think probably you're still going to need some weak auras. I do lag, so it feels like very clunky on the how it's called, on the PTR, on the beta, pretty much. But overall, if I'm looking at the damage I'm doing, like Tempest, top damage, by the way, 7 hits, only 7 hits, top damage, 2.8 million crits, which is bonkers. Lightning Bolt crit is 1.4 million, so it replaces Tempest. So the more Tempest you can do, the better. Obviously, in AoE situations, it's going to be even better, because then you can also put Chain Lightning on, because you get like a talent from Stormbringer, which is going to add damage and also instant to your Chain Lightning. So you can just do 3 Chain Lightnings, and of course, the more Chain Lightnings you can do and the more Lightning Bolts you can do, your Awakening Storm is going to proc every 3 times your Tempest. So you can always have an extra Tempest whenever you can. So that's actually a very cool, neat thing. But overall, the damage is looking good. Like, Wind Fury attack does insane amount of damage now, because we have like Doom Winds on a lower CD. It makes it a lot more reliable to play around, and your heroism will be tied to Doom Winds, so you will never have like a off syncing moment between like your Doom Winds and your heroism. Then you'll have your Spirit Wolves doing actually 10% of your damage, which is not negligible. Then we have Storm Strike still doing not that good damage. It could be higher in my opinion, but I think it's mostly because we're not really in AoE situations where I can do Crash Lightnings. We have Lightning Rod doing some extra juiced up damage, and we have that because of our Tempest. So it's also quite good. Crash Lightning is meh, but still we do still 5% damage with that. And then we have your Flame Shock, which you should always apply to everyone. Your melee attacks, Chain Lightning, Frost Shock, even Authority of Radiant Power, which is basically the enchant. And then you have Elemental Blast. I only did 2. So basically, I could say this build could be played around Tempest Strike, because I feel like I don't have the chance of the off chance to be playing around Elemental Blast, which kind of sucks for my Elemental Feral Spirits, but on the off chance where it's like a quadruple or 5 Lightning Spirits, I would say, it could give you insane amount of damage on Tempest. But I can understand if you want to remove it to put it somewhere else. That's not a problem, but right now I put it for Elemental Spirits because I do like the gameplay around it, right now at least. Now I'm going to show you the mixed build. So that's the build that is going to be available now for you because of the extra points you're getting from the removal of a few things. Unfortunately, it didn't do what I wanted, because I got like that, but now we have like Surging Totems, because we are totemic. We have Lava Lash, which is going to add us a Searing Totem, which does some good damage. Then we have also Reactivity, which basically every time you're going to use your Frost Shock empowered by a Hailstorm, Lava Lash, or even Fire Nova, which I'm not going to use, is going to give us like an extra shot on Searing Volleys, which is very good. Then we have Earth Surge, which is going to add more damage onto our Surging Totem, but you also have your Oversurge. So if you're activating Ascendance and then using your Sundering, it's going to do insane amount of damage on your Surging Totem. So I'm going to show you guys as well. You have also an extra shield, which is always going to be like very, very good. Since you have always in the totem active, you're always going to grant yourself a shield. So that's really cool. Although it's still low value, like 400k. What is that? But it's like something you're going to need versus pad damage, and pad damage is always going to be present in this game. Then we have also a few talents that are going to improve our Storm Strike and improve our Wind Fury. And then we have Whirling Elements, which we're going to take full use because of that. So again, let's talk about it. We have like Lava Lash talents, very cool. We don't have Swirling Maelstrom. We don't really need that because we have Lava Lash, Ice Strike, and Storm Strike. We have a good amount of Maelstrom we can regenerate because of Elemental Assault. But if you are like experiencing some difficulties, you can always remove 1 point somewhere, maybe Flurry. Although I really like Flurry because with this build, Doom Winds is still something you want to have. There is nothing really that you can remove. Maybe Ice Strike, maybe, but it does give you a bit of damage on Frost Shock, like a lot of damage with Hailstorm. So again, we're still always going to play around your Totem of Wrath plus also Shamanism, and then we have our Ascendants, which I'm going to put on the bar because I didn't have it on my bar for some reason because the update kind of ruined it. But yeah, voila, we have everything going. I could put it on Shift X. So basically, the goal of this build is pretty much using the whole totemic feel of the hero talents, and it's not really a very handy hero talent, but it's something you're going to probably have a lot of reliability around it. Surging Totem is only like it has 3 million health, so if you want to break it, you have to spend a lot of energy onto it. So that's not going to be easy to destroy. But overall, the bonuses you get from your Surging Totems are very neat, like the extra increased damage on Storm Strike, the AoE aspect as well, the extra damage on your Lava Lash, also critical strike chance. That's all things that you're going to look forward to if you're like playing your Enhancement Shaman. So basically what you want to do is like try to triple dot, obviously. I'm still lagging like a lot, unfortunately. Like I do, you see, I did a Lava Lash, it didn't pop off, whatever. So once you have like your Searing Totem, for example, you can put your Feral Spirits into your Primordial Wave. You can put your Surging Totem, Doom Winds with your thingy, and then you can do Ascendance into a big Sundering, and you can do a lot of damage with that. And obviously, since you're like in Ascendance, you can have a lot of benefits from that. So overall, I really like that. You have your Surging Totem still active, and it does some good AoE damage as well. And in PvP, again, you have a lot of occasions where you're going to be able to do a lot of AoE damage and have a lot of value with that. I really despise the lag, and also despise the lack of add-ons I have right now. But it is what it is. But overall, it is feeling really cool. Like, and I'm lagging. It's really horrible. Like I'm pressing Feral Spirits, it doesn't go off. And then I can actually just say that I still play around your lightning bolts because you're playing like a full Ascendance build. No, excuse me, you don't really have to play full lightning bolt on this build, so you can pretty much throw a elemental blast whenever you can. But overall, the damage is really cool. Like again, I pop my Doom Winds and then I'm popping off, right? And I can always do a lot of damage with my Elemental Blast. We have my Storm Strike doing a lot of damage, my Lava Lash doing a lot of damage. And the more Lava Lashes I do, the more damage. And we have a lot of Searing Totems, you see? We have like 3 or 4 Searing Totems sometimes. And it is like a lot of damage. And trust me with that, it is going to be very interesting to play around with it. Unfortunately, whenever you're doing a Sundering, your Feral Spirits just jumps somewhere else. But you see my Surging Totem itself did like 1.3 million damage. Surging Bolts, which are activated by my Storm Strike, did for 500k, but that plus also Lava Lash doing insane amount of damage, your Flame Shark doing some good spread damage, your Wind Fury attacks actually like be relevant because you're playing with Doom Winds, your Searing Bolts, it's 6% of your damage, which is not negligible. I think Elemental Blast should have been casting a bit more. It is also doing like 4.3 million damage with a crit of 1.9 million. You do see like Tempest is quite nice to play around with because the damage is a bit higher to that, but you can also play haste because of that, because then you can have a bit more of a smooth gameplay, smooth experience because of haste. And then you have your frost shock also doing a bit more damage. Obviously, I think I can do way better, or do a way better of an experience whenever I'm not lagging. Right now I'm very lagging, and Enhancement Shaman is such a spec that it gets really influenced by lag. I think personally, if I played like this on normal servers, I would not be playing Enhancement Shaman. But I think on live servers, again, especially if you're not lagging, I think it's a good spec to play around. Now we have also the pure elementalist build. I think it's still on cooldown for some reason. Doesn't get off cooldown. Okay, now it is pure elementalist build, but we have totemic. We don't have doomwinds anymore. That is what it is, but we still have our good heroism. We have lava lash again, and it didn't update my bars, so I'm going to have to do this. Pretty much your lightning bolt, you don't really care too much about it, so you have to put your elemental blast on a bit of a better keybind, but you're always going to have to try to lightning bolts to get your benefits on your primordial wave getting haste. So overall, this build is also very much playable. I think that is probably the meta build for the elementalist one. But you can pretty much do the same. You put your flame shock on everyone, or you can spread it with just a lava lash. And then you can do a primordial wave into a feral spirit, into a surging totem, into a sundering, into a triple lightning bolt, and then you can just do a lot of damage with your heroism as well. And you can just like do the normal stuff, right? So that's the usual lava lash build. Pretty much try to do a lot of lava lashes whenever you can, try to do a lot of damage whenever you can. I do prefer the normal doomwinds build, I'm not gonna lie, this is more my thing, but I understand whenever people are playing around the elementalist build, because it does feel like very nervous, and sometimes you want to play more of a nervous build, which I understand. But whenever you're doing a sundering, it's doing insane amount of damage. Like, it really does an insane amount of damage with your surging totem. But yeah, I mean, this is more of a elementalist build but with Wind Fury enchant, so that's cool. The Wind Fury weapon. So before, you didn't really have the points to get Wind Fury weapon, so you had to do like double lava lash enchant, which again is not really my taste. I prefer to have my Wind Fury weapon available to me, but right now I feel like my build is a bit more complete, and it does make a bit more sense. So obviously you want to press everything that is lining up. Like, it's interesting how like lag does nothing for some classes, and then for like classes like Enhancement Shaman, where you're very much timing dependent, it kind of sucks. But you see the damage is again like very high. Yeah? We have our surging totem doing 600k this time, but we didn't have ascendance obviously. But whenever you have ascendance up with your sundering, it does a lot of damage. Then you have your lava lash. It got disappeared, I don't know why. We got a lava lash, didn't crit once unfortunately, but 700k normal hit is quite good. We have flame shock, we have elemental blast this time, like going pretty high. Your lightning bolt again doing it for primordial wave applications. Frost shock, very cool. Storm strike, very cool. Wind Fury attack being very much lower because you don't have doomwinds, it's normal. And then you have your ice strike, primordial wave, and other shenanigans, which I do like. Now the special builds I have is doomwinds with totemic, and it's something I'm playing around with, and I actually liked. I don't know if it's like the thing I'm going to play the most, but it does help with the fact that we have lava lash as well with this build. It's a high APM build, like it requires a lot of APM, and I don't know if I can pull it off with lag, but pretty much you have your elemental blast that does insane amount of damage. We have our lightning bolt doing also insane amount of damage, and we have our deeply rooted elements, not ascendant, so it means that whenever it procs and we have your searching totem, it's going to add that damage increase on your Sundering plus Surging Totem effect. Now the issue is to time it, it's very difficult because you have to sunder once you have your deeply rooted elements proc, which most likely you already use your sundering for other like applications. But I really like this build as well. In theory, again, because you have your lava lash with also your molten assault, which gives you a lot of spread damage as well with flame shock, so you don't have to flame shock everyone again. You still have your hailstorm, so you still have a lot of damage on your frost shock. You have still everything you want about storm strike. You still have elemental spirits, and now you use every single occasions to improve your damage, so I do like that as well. And again, I mean, it's always going to be the same, right? If you want to burst, pretty much you can just pop everything. And I have my ascendance, boom, I put my application of Surging Totem, and it does some good damage, so I like that. And of course you have your Feral Spirits, which is easier to apply whenever you have like Doom Winds as well, because it resets a lot faster. And personally, I really like the potential of this build. Now, is it going to be meta? Probably not. Like, let's be honest, for it to be meta, it has to be way better. But right now it feels like very fun, and I've seen myself play that in RPGs, for example. I think that could be a very interesting aspect of the gameplay, I would say. And still a lot of damage as well, with multiple obvious abilities to improve your damage. So I really like that as well. Overall, I may say that I'm actually very happy about Enhancement Shaman right now. I'm not gonna lie, I still want changes. Like, I think they could easily have a few things like tuned to have less buttons, because we do have a lot of buttons, but it is also the charm of Enhancement Shaman. Some people play Enhancement Shaman because they have a lot of buttons to press. It is what it is. Personally, I prefer to press a bit less buttons, but be more meaningful. But right now, I think if it comes out right now in Season 1 with this state, I would be happy. I think balancing still needs to be applied on a few things. I do feel like Storm Strike should be a bit higher damage. I don't know if they're going to do that, but hopefully they're buffing a few things here and there to make it more fun for the overall populations of Enhancement Shaman. You see, like I took like around 30 minutes to cook up those 4 builds, test it, and see for myself, and then also make a video about it for 30 minutes. And I do feel like I can still change a few things here and there. I could still, I would say, cook up other builds and see for myself which one is going to be the best. The class tree I didn't really touch too much. Obviously, depending on who you're facing, you're going to change a few things here and there. But what is nice is now Ancestral Guidance is also changed positions. Before, Ancestral Guidance was below Spirit Walker's Grace. Now it is next to Spirit Walker's Grace. So now it's also easier to take, and most likely you're going to take it by removing Voodoo Master, for example, or whatever you're going to play around. So that's also a great thing. Again, they're listening to the community, although they still do whatever they want about Enhancement Shaman. But I do feel like they're listening to the community on how they could improve the spec. So hopefully they do still continue to listen to the community, and hopefully they are not going to gut Enhancement Shaman coming into Season 1. Again, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Be sure to stay safe. We will catch each other probably very soon in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.